Hello and welcome to a bonus episode of Baer's Anime Club, an ongoing video series where I talk about something from the world of anime that I'm interested in. And this is won't only be relevant for a few days, but this is going through the categories for the 2021 Anime Awards for the year 2021, I should say. Crunchyroll puts this on. Usually they have a live event. They don't have a live event right now. But speaking of live, I'm recording this live on my Twitch stream. So there will be some people maybe chatting about these things, giving their opinions in chat as I'm going through them. I'm going to go through the different categories, talk about what I think is a snub or what I think is going to win, what I would like to win, and I'm going to vote because you can vote every day. So if you're seeing this before Tuesday, you can go in and get your voice heard vis-a-vis voting, which is fun. Anyway, we'll go through this now. We're going to start with anime of the year. Let's just start right off the top. I'll talk about the things that are up for here. You got 86, 86. As far as I can tell, you say both of them, which is sure. Jujutsu Kaisen Core 2, that is the second half of Jujutsu Kaisen. Core 1 was in 2020, the end of the year, and then the beginning of 2021 saw the second half of the series. This also won Anime of the Year last year for the Core 1, the first half of it. You've got Ranking of Kings, Attack on Titan final season part 1. Season part 2 is happening now, so this was at the beginning of last year. Odd Taxi and Sunny Boy. So let's talk about, in my opinion, this was an interesting category because there were a few things on here that I was very surprised to see, and a few that I'm not at all. I was surprised to see Jujutsu Kaisen on here since it won the previous year. I didn't think it would show up again. I am a little surprised to see Ranking of Kings because that's an ongoing series. It was like a double length, so the first core was like right at the end of last year. But I know there's a bunch of buzz for it, so that's actually maybe not super surprising. Sunny Boy, I feel like there are people that really loved it, but I don't know if that like culturally hit anything. So that was also surprising to me to see on this list. I know there's plenty of people that really like 86. Anime that I'm surprised not to see on this. Tokyo Revengers, which did very well as far as viewership, both for folks that are watching on streaming services and on television Japan, has done very well as far as the increase in manga sales. And also it's good. So I was surprised not to see that. I'm surprised not to see Demon Slayer because it is nominated for several other categories. So I'm surprised that the latest arc for that is not on this list. And like I've said this, 7 out of my top 10 are not anywhere in any category here, including this. I didn't think any of the things I really loved were going to be on here. I would say that of the ones that I really liked, I guess Tokyo Revengers would be the one that I was expecting to be on here. As far as my opinion on what is going to win, I could see Ranking of Kings because it's ongoing right now. So people who are voting could be really still loving that show because it's in the front of their faces. Whereas something like Jujutsu Kaisen was the beginning of last year. It's been a long time since there have been new episodes of that show. And the prequel movie isn't out yet. So, but Attack on Titan, if Attack on Titan is going to win, it's probably this year and not next year. So I could see Attack on Titan, I could see Jujutsu Kaisen, I could see Ranking of Kings. Odd Taxi could pull it out. I'm going to vote for Jujutsu Kaisen because I actually think the second half is actually way better than the first half. First half is good, introduces the characters, you get the feel, but the second half is a lot of incredible action and the introduction of some of the best characters in the show comes in Core 2. So I'm gonna vote for Jujutsu Kaisen, and I can confirm it. Yes, we'll go from there. And then if I wanted to, I could share my picks. And then, of course, we got till the 25th. But we have more categories to talk about here. And if you have your thoughts on any of these shows or your pick for that, you can put that in the comments for folks that are watching this live. And if you're watching this later on YouTube, what's up, YouTube? You can put it in the comments below what your thoughts are. What was your favorite show of the year? Any of these categories where you feel like a show got robbed. Feel free to let me know in the comments of the YouTube video. Best boy. We could watch the video, but whatever. I'll just talk about it. So yeah, we got best boy, we got best girl. We'll go into it here. We got Senku from Doctor Stone season 2, a show I forgot came out last year. I enjoyed season 2, but I forgot that it came out. You've got Otakawa from Odd Taxi. You have Ken from Tokyo Revengers. Izumi from Horimiya. Boji from Ranking of Kings. And, of course, you have Mikey from Tokyo Revengers. 2 Tokyo Revenger characters up for Best Boy. There's a couple characters that end up in Protagonist and Antagonist. I'm surprised we don't have Yuji in here. From Yuji, of course, from Jujutsu Kaisen. He is a best boy. He's one of the best boys. Very surprised to see Senku in here because I, again, as I said, forgot that Dr. Stone even came out. Boji's going to win this. Maybe Otakawa. Boji is the best boy. This is a show that I bounced off of 2 episodes in. I don't really like Ranking of Kings. I know a lot of people really like it, but I have a heart. I get it. Also, the main dude from To Your Eternity. Oh, that's what I forgot to say. What am I even talking about? We're going to scroll back up here. Where's To Your Eternity on this list? Now, I didn't watch it because that show is about characters getting introduced, and so you fall in love with them. So it makes you cry when when bad things happen to them. And so I'll never watch To Your Eternity, but I am led to believe that it's beautiful, and it's very surprising that it's not a contender for Anime of the Year. That was shocking. And also, I would say, yeah, maybe the main character from there, one of the characters from there, could have ended up in Best Boy. But I'm going to vote for Boji because I have a heart, even though I do think Izumi is probably my best boy, or maybe actually he'd better in Protagonist. So we'll talk about that later. Let's get into Best Girl. Right off the bat, there are some very good girls in this category. I'll talk about a few that aren't in here. We've got I've never saw her name written down before. Lena from 8686. You got Nobara from Jujutsu Kaisen. Shotoko Komi from Komi Can't Communicate. Toru Honda from Fruit Baskets, the final season. Watanabe from Kageki Shoujo. And I from Wonder Egg Priority. Wonder Egg Priority shows up in a bunch of categories here, and I'm very surprised because I know people liked that show. The people that love that show were really disappointed by it. It ended very poorly, and then they did a bonus episode that was supposed to fix it, and it didn't. And so anytime anyone mentions Wonder Egg Priority, I just go, oh yeah, I'm sorry. Brozard says that's a lot of good girls, and I agree, Brozard. This is a good girl category. Now, are there missing good girls in here? Of course there are. I'm talking about any character from Laid Back Camp season 2. They're all good girls in that show. I'm talking about either of the main 2 girls who are in most episodes of Super Cub. Where's the Super Cub love in here? Come on, what are we talking about? The elf from How a Realist Hero Rebuilt the Kingdom. Okay, how about this? How about this, friends? What about Mjon just renewed their sub? That won't pop up in here, but thank you, Mjon, saying they're good girls, Pat. They are, Mjon. And I appreciate you renewing your subscription. Thank you for doing that. We're doing this live on Twitch, and it's going to be later on my YouTube. I've been killing slimes for 300 years and finally maxed out my level. Is a series all about good girls. Very good girls. The minor character good girls are great in that. I've Been Killing Slimes should be on here. We should be seeing, hey, how about the spider from So I'm a Spider, So What? Because guess what? That was a 2-core, so it did come out last year. Put that on the list. What are we doing here? Is there any other ones? Oh, we had the third and final season of Non Biori. So put Renge in there. Renge is better than all of these girls. Let's be real. All those girls. So Fruit Basket's the final season was cathartic and great for a lot of people. The long-standing manga finally got its full adaptation in anime form, and approved by the manga. Worked closely with it. Toru is an all-time great girl, so I would love to see her win this. I liked Kageki Shoujo. She's just a nice tall girl. She's just a tall, nice girl. I don't know. Wonder Egg got bounced off of really quickly. So I like Comey. I saw 86 was up for a bunch. Yes, and John. Apparently, people really liked 86, and I don't know. Um, if there was best mech design, it might have had the best mech design of last year. Um, Look, here's the thing. I can see Comey winning this. I can see Toru winning this. I'm voting for Nobara because she fucking kicks ass and she's great. This is definitely a best girl, but I would say any of these girls, except maybe the 86 person, because I don't know anything about that show, other than it's got mechs and it's sad. But also, like, part of the whole thing is there's like somebody who's like, I didn't know we were doing these terrible things to you. I'm one of the good ones, and I'm just generally not interested in I'm one of the good ones as a concept. Uh, so no thanks. All right, let's get to best protagonist. And this one's interesting. Best protagonist here, we've got Aaron Yeager, Attack on Titan Final Season Part 1, Joe from Megalobox 2, Boji from Ranking of Kings, Yuji from Jujutsu Kaisen, Otakawa from Odd Taxi, and I from Wonder Egg Priority. Nice to see I on this list, even if I didn't really enjoy the show and bounced off of it. Still nice to see her there. Before we get into the individual ones, any possible snubs, in my opinion, I kind of wanted to see Takamichi from Tokyo Revengers because it's like a good action series, and I think he's great in it. As terrible. Here's an outlier that would have been kind of cool for this. Soma, from How a Realist Hero Rebuilt the Kingdom. Soma is a great protagonist, and he's the main character, and his unusual take in an isekai, I think, is like really great. Now, Core 2 is out right now, so maybe he'll get some love next year, but I don't know. Now, as far as me, Odd Taxi, I know people really liked. I didn't like it, never got it, didn't feel good about it. I'm personally never voting for anything to do with Attack on Titan. That's just my vibe. You do you. You vote how you want to vote. I can see Boji winning this, but I think maybe he's going to win. He'll probably win Best Boy. I'm going with Yuji because I just think Yuji is. So the Core 2 sets Yuji up as like figuring out his abilities and giving us a glimpse of how this character is going to be, how he's going to be a powerful person, and what it means to lose. Like, he doesn't save the day all the time in this one. We'll talk more about his fighting later, but I think Yuji goes through a great journey, and he is part of the nice guy, good boy, shonen protagonist era that we're living in right now, and I just think he's great. So my vote is for Yuji. I think I like Boji or Aaron might win this, but I also think Aaron is better suited for the next category. Excuse me, best antagonist. That's right, Aaron Yeager is up for protagonist and antagonist. And at first I was like, I really feel like by this point in Attack on Titan, Aaron is the villain. We also got Tomura, which is I'll get to. That's an interesting choice from My Hero Academia Season 5. Yano from Odd Taxi. Echidna from ReZero. I forgot that the second half of Season 2 of ReZero was last year. It was the beginning of last year. We got Adam from Skate the Infinity, and we got Teta from Tokyo Revengers. Boo that man. Now, interestingly enough, Tomura is the villain, is obviously a villain, but he's the one you root for because it's villains versus villains. And you're rooting for the League of Villains against the Meta Army, Revolution Army, whatever it's called. You either die a protagonist or live long enough to be the antagonist. It's John. Yeah, and for that reason, I think I'm going with Eren Yeager. Now there are some other good villains in this, like Teta Shaky Fist. Adam is an Adam is a pro wrestling heel because Skate the Infinity is pro wrestling and skateboards. But it's more like MMA who want to be pro wrestling because it's not a work, it's a shoot. The whole thing is, and that's fine. That's totally cool that that's what it is. But it's just not a show I enjoy. A kid, not again. Also, the first half of ReZero, Echidna is much more of a villain, but like, and no spoilers here. There's actually a villain in the second half of season 2 of ReZero. There is a pronounced villain. There is a reveal of the machinations of one man, which, if you've been watching the show, you would have known before it was announced. Oh yeah, that's clearly the villain. But like, there is an antagonist in that show, and Echidna is not yet at this point. I mean, she is, but she's not. So I was like, I don't know about that one. So I'm going with Eren. Although could be Isaki, but we'll go with Eren. This is basically what I've been voting for, and so you vote you. Best fight scene. Okay, so here's best fight scene. We got Eren Yeager versus Warhammer Titan from Attack on Titan Final Season Part 1. Yuji and Todo versus Hanami from Jujutsu Kaisen Core 2. Elma versus Toru from Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid S, which is the second season of Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid. We've got Naruto versus Ishiki in Boruto, Naruto Next Generations. That's right. The only time we'll talk about Naruto or Boruto, the show Boruto, is a fight that Naruto is in, because the anime Boruto is mostly about how great Naruto is and Naruto's friends. A really weird show. We've got Yuji and Nobara versus the cursed doll brothers, Iso and Kazuki from Jujutsu Kaisen Core 2. And we have Vivi versus Yugo from Vivi, a show I did not watch at all, but I know some people liked. But I did not watch a second of it. So the odd fight out in this is Naruto, because ongoings usually don't get any mention. Like, hey, One Piece has been fucking phenomenal last year. One Piece is nowhere on this list. There is no One Piece on this list. Ongoings just don't get the love on these kind of things. So to have any kind of fight from Boruto is interesting. You got two fights from Jujutsu Kaisen. In my opinion, the one with Todo the tag team match is really fun because it gives a very interesting point of Yuji's personality, and it's just very well done, fluidly, incredibly well done. Whereas like the one with Nobara is a good fight scene, but like, it's mostly just like, hey, she's pretty great, right? Yeah. And he's great too, right? Yeah. And like, she didn't realize that he's gotten way stronger. No, she didn't at all. Okay. And that one dude that they're fighting is gross, and the other dude they're fighting is creepy. So like, if I gotta go with that, I'm gonna go with the villainous character Hanami, who is an evil spirit. Don't get me wrong, but it's also just like, hey, I'm closely tied with nature, and humans have fucked up the earth, and you're like, you are not wrong. Shit. And I like that in a villain. Like, is that character a villain? Is it, probably, I mean, yes, but also like, so I like that a lot. Elma versus Toru. Hey, Why are there such detailed, incredibly violent fight scenes in a romantic comedy about a dragon girl that really would like a lady to date her boss to date her? Why are there some epic fights? It is a good fight, but like there were a bunch of fuck. It is heavily implied that Toru murdered a guy, like murdered a guy that was like harassing people. Like it is heavily implied that off camera that guy was fucking killed. And I'm like, what is happening in this show? Anyway, I'm going with Yuji and Toto versus Hanami because I think that's the best fight. Uh, I don't even think Aaron versus Warhammer was the best fight in that season of Attack on Titan, that part of the season. So I'm not gonna vote for that. Best director. This one feels weird because I don't know. Like, well, who am I? Who the fuck am I? We've got. I'm gonna butcher these names, and I apologize right now, but I'm gonna try my best. Yuichiro Hayashi from Attack on Titan Final Season Part One. Yo Moriyama from Megalobox Nomad. Shingo Natsume from Sunny Boy. Shungo Park from Jujutsu Kaisen. Baku Kinoshita from Odd Taxi, and Shin Wakanabayashi from Wonder Egg Priority. For me, I would love to see the director of Super Cub in this one. I would definitely like to see that because I think that's a really well done show. Even maybe remake your life, remake our life. Remake our life is like really well directed. I'm gonna go with Shingo Park just because I think Jujutsu Kaisen was really great. Also, I should say this at this point: Jujutsu Kaisen Core 2 not on my top 10 list. I'm gonna talk a lot about it. It's probably 11 on my list because like part of it is because it came at the beginning of the year, and I haven't really thought about it until I'm talking about it now. Should it have been up my list? Should it have bumped out a show? Maybe, but it didn't. And that's like surprising to me now. But yeah, we'll do that. Let's go into best animation. For best animation, we have Demon Slayer, the Mugen Train arc, which feels like a cheat. I'll say this right now because there's the movie, and this is like stuff that happened before the movie, and then stuff that's happening after the movie, and like new scenes. But it's still like that's saying like, hey, this movie budget that we put some of it on TV. That's best animation. I don't like it. Miss Kobayashi Dragon Maid S. Again, the fight scene's incredibly well done. Vivi, I've heard very good things about. Jujutsu Kaisen Core 2. Mushoku Tensei, Jobless Reincarnation Core 1, and Wonder Egg Priority. So, the odd person out, the show that I have not talked about at all, that it will come up, I think only one more time on this list, is Jobless Reincarnation. And please believe me, this is not a show that I recommend at all because the main character sucks ass and I hate him. But it is beautiful to watch. The magic animation is some of the best I've ever seen in any show in the past like decade. It's beautifully rendered. It's obviously a lot of detail and thought and time is put in. There's no CG monsters. This is all like it's an isekai, yes, and John. It is the grandfather of modern isekai. When you think of a overpowered main character who is, reborn into another world and has a lot of ladies that like him for some inexplicable reason, and just kind of goes through and has tragedies and has problems, but overcomes them by being like basically using their real world knowledge to have a better imagination. All of that shit comes from the light novels that this anime is based on. Jobless Reincarnation was incredibly popular and influential on a lot of stuff, and a lot of lessons to be learned from it. Like, just have them awaken when they're like 12 or 15 or whatever. Don't have them like instantly when they're born have their memories because it's just weird. So it's beautifully rendered, but the guy sucks, and I don't like the show. So it is. Again, Demon Slayer doesn't feel like it should win because it feels like a cheat, and there's a category for that. So for me, it's really is a toss up between Jujutsu Kaisen, which all of it looks beautiful and it's funny and clever, and the animation I think is really solid, and Jobless Reincarnation, which I'm going to give it to because the animation is beautiful. So we'll go with that. Best character design. You've got Tadashi Hiromatsu from Jujutsu Kaisen, Asuko Nozaki from Ranking of Kings, two people here, Flat Studio and Yuichi Takachi from Vivi, Baku Kinoshita and Hiruma Nagama from Odd Taxi, Bishori Chiba from Skate the Infinity, and Saki Takahashi from Wonder Egg Priority. Now, the nice thing about this is that most of this is original animation. And I really like that for best character design because, like, yeah, Jujutsu Kaisen is cool. Ranking of Kings like has a look, and I think it's good. Those are manga. Odd Taxi, Skate the Infinity, Wonder Egg are all original properties. Vivi, I actually don't know. So sorry, I don't know if it's an original or if it's based on manga. But I know the first two are based on manga. So they have a source. So to me, it's just like, I don't know. I think like from the ground up. And so I'm going to go with Odd Taxi because I don't think Odd Taxi is going to win a lot of things. And I do think that like working with anthropomorphized characters is fucking tough. So I'm going to go with that. But this category, I'm like, I don't really have strong opinions. Best score, we've got 86, Megalobox, Vivi, Demon Slayer, Odd Taxi, and Wonder Egg Priority. I am a bad person for score. Again, I feel like Demon Slayer is cheating. I'm definitely like a bad person to judge it. So I'm going to go with Vivi because music is really important for this anime. Music is essential for this anime. So if the score isn't good, that's fuck up. And even if I didn't like it, I still feel like that's the way to vote. Best VA performance, Japanese. So last year they instead of splitting it by male and female, they just went English and Japanese. They took it from 4 categories to 2. I like that a lot. It's good they continue that. VA performance Japanese. So you have Ai Sakura as Sakura, I should say. Can't believe I messed that one up. As Gabby. Kiyoshi Kobayashi as Jigen. You have Aoyuki as the spider. Yuki Kaji as Aaron. Natsuki Hane as Ottawa. And Kanata Akawa as I. Okay, so we'll talk about a few of the ones before we talk about the one that I'm voting for. And if the person I'm thinking of doesn't win, this is bullshit, and why even nominate them? So here we'll start with this. Aoyuki, under other circumstances, should absolutely win this category because she is playing this frantic spider who is like funny and like so much spider. So what? She plays herself as the spider, and then 3 other spiders that are branches of her own personality that have different personality traits. So she's playing all of these different characters that are all different versions of the spider, and like really funny and silly and just like this weird oddball role. I love it. I does a very good job in a show that is like the characters are stronger than the plot. Gabby is really good at being a kid that you don't. This is a terrible thing to say, so please don't quote this out of context. Gabby in Attack on Titan final season does a very good job of playing a character that is a child that I don't mind if that character dies. She did murder. I will say this. No, I'm not going to spoil who because people are behind on things. She did in this season murder a beloved character. So I think that's okay to say that I hope that character, I would not be sad if that character died. Let's see. Okay. Other characters, fine. Aaron, whatever. I don't care. Let's talk about Kobayashi and how if Kobayashi doesn't win this, that's awful. So this is for Lupin the Third, Part 6. I need you to understand this, that Lupin the Third, the first Lupin the Third animated TV show, aired in 1971. And this voice actor has been playing that character for 50 years. He's played other roles. He's got a long history. He's done a little bit of acting as well, facial acting, playing characters in live action. But he's played a bunch of stuff, including Jigen, which he has played for 50 years. So, in my opinion, give that dude an award. And if he doesn't win, if fucking Yuki Kaji wins for Eren Yeager, I'm gonna be pissed. 50 years. You would be so lucky. It feels like this is why they need lifetime achievement awards, because like shouldn't even be in this category as a performer that could lose. Here's the English one. I don't fucking watch dubs, but we'll go through it. Brittany Cox for Fena, which I think the only one here I've watched the dub of. No, I watched two of these dubs. Some episodes of two of these dubs. We got Fena from Fena the Pirate Princess, which also aired. It was on Crunchyroll, but then you could also watch it dubbed on Crunchyroll and subbed, but then also on Cartoon Network. Adam MacArthur as Yuji, Matt Shipman as Reki, Laura Bailey as Toru, David Wald as Adam, and Anaris Kiones as Rika. So, again, I have watched two of these. I have watched Fena, a bit of the dub, and I have watched some of Fruit Basket's final season. I am the most Laura Bailey ruled as Tora in the first iteration of Fruit Baskets. I'm sure she knocked it out of the park. And again, haven't listened to the new one. Yes. So that's what I'm saying. I know Laura Bailey from lots of voice acting that she's been in, but I also know her as the original voice of Toru. And I liked that dub the first time around, so that's where my vote is going. Again, I don't watch dubs that often. I don't really have super strong opinions, but that's where I'm going. In the comments below, you can tell me yours. Vote for best opening sequence. We've got. I'm just gonna say. I'm not gonna say the names of the things. I'm just gonna say the show: Attack on Titan, Final Season Part 1, Jujutsu Kaisen Core 2, Odd Taxi, Beastars, Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid S, and Tokyo Revengers. Now, is there any opening I would put in here that is not on this list? Yes. I would put in Laid Back Camp Season 2. It's just a fun one. Is it as good as the first one? No, but it's still really good. I would put in what else would I put in? Oh, the second half of That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime Season 2. That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime Season 2 Part 2, the opening theme from that is fucking great. I've talked about it a bunch on Twitter. I've linked to it a bunch. Look it up. It is this Mid-Rain does it, and it is this like early 2000s rock song that you would imagine would be used in an anime music video, but it's a theme for an anime. Very choice, very good. The Beastars opening is really solid, and I believe this is Beastars like only thing listed is here in the music for the current season, the last season I should say. I'm gonna go with Crybaby because I think it is really good. But yeah, like I said, there are a few things that I would have put on here that didn't end up being listed. I also think that Horimiya has a good opener, but we'll go with Tokyo Revengers because it is really good. Let's go into best ending. We have Attack on Titan Final Season Part 1. We've got Lisa's song from the Demon Slayer Mugen Train arc, which I'll say right now does not capture the magic of previous Lisa songs for Demon Slayer. You have Skate the Infinity, Beastars, Shadow's House making an appearance on the list. Dirty, you are correct. Crybaby is a John Waters directed Johnny Depp led movie, I should say. Yes, and Soma Spider, So What? So I mentioned Io Yuki before in the voice actor Japanese. Io Yuki voices the spider from Soma Spider, So What? And this This is the winner for me. I'll talk about the other ones. I'm just going to jump in right there and say this is the winner for me. It is a speed metal song uh, of the as a spider with the other spiders as the backup band, and telling her feelings about what's happening to her and being in the dungeon. It is fast. It is like ridiculous. It is over the top, and it has a breakdown where it is more like sing songy and a little idly. It fucking kicks ass, and I highly recommend it. I think it is fantastic, and is my all time for this category. Are there anything else that like of the other categories? Like I said, it's not my favorite Lisa song. Um, B stars, I kind of gave it for the opening. I think closing is fine. I'll say this: I was surprised that we did not see the second closing theme, because the core two, the closing theme for Jujutsu Kaisen, because that's beautiful. It's lovely. It's a bunch of them like spending time together. It's like a nice thing. It's one of those like endings where you're like, oh, wouldn't it be nice if those characters like had a nice day? It's that kind of song. Look it up. It's really good. It's not as good as the opening of the first season of the first half of the season of that, but it's good. All right, let's go to best action. So now we're in the genre categories. Attack on Titan, Final Season Part 1, Jujutsu Kaisen Core 2, Vivi, Demon Slayer, the train arc, SSSS Dynazeon in its only appearance in anything here, which is bizarre, and Wonder Egg Priority, which there's not a suspense like category, and I think that's a better fit for Wonder Egg. I don't think this is a good fit for Wonder Egg because there is action. I'm going with Jujutsu Kaisen because I think it fucking rules at this point. Again, not on my top 10, but of what's available. Now, is there an action series that I would put in this list that isn't there? Yeah, I would put Tokyo Revengers. Also, Tokyo Revengers should have been in Best Fight. Instead of having two Jujutsu Kaisen, throw a Tokyo Revengers fight scene in there. Is the actual brawling great? Not necessarily, but the emotion behind the fighting. So I would put Tokyo Revengers in this category. I would also put That Time I Got Reincarnated as Slime Season 2 Part 2 in this, because there's a lot of action in it, because that show evolved from a non-traditional isekai to a modern traditional isekai. And it's brutal. I mean, hey, I'll say this right now. Our good slime friend murdered thousands of people in an instant. Now they were part of a awful regime, but still, he does just murder all of them because a few of them murdered some of his family. Anyway, Jujutsu Kaisen wins for best action. But yeah, there are a few things I would like to see in there instead of what we got. Best comedy. This is a tough category because I don't know. I don't think so about most of these. Don't toy with me, Miss Nagatoro. Interesting that we did not see her in Best Girl. A little surprised about that. Komi Can't Communicate, Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid, S, Heaven's Design Team, Life Lessons with Urumachi Onisan, and Odd Taxi. Odd Taxi is in a better category later because it is a dark comedy, but I think it is better in another category here. Life Lessons is another dark comedy. None of these are like very light. Komi Can't Communicate is a comedy series. I just don't think it's great as a comedy series. Dragon Maid is a romantic comedy at best. Heaven's Design Team is a comedy. It's not great, but it is a comedy. And Don't Toy With Me, I guess, is a comedy. I guess I just don't like the joke. Now, what would I like to see in here? Non Biori Season 3. What is that called? What was the subtitle of that? Nonstop. Non Biori Nonstop is way funnier than any of these shows. That is my opinion. Comedy is incredibly subjective. I understand. But I would put that above most of these things. I'd put Horimiya above most of these, which is just a romance show. It's a high school romance show, but the funny moments in that are better than almost all of these. So this is tough. As a lover of comedy, I feel weird giving it to Odd Taxi, which I don't think I think it doesn't live up to its dark comedy roots, but I do think it is the funniest thing of no. You know what? No, no. I'm going with Comey Can't Communicate because they are actually trying to be a comedy. Oops. No. Oh, yeah. Almost put the wrong thing there. Wow. I'm glad they have to confirm. All right. Let's go into best drama. We've got 8686, Kageki Shoujo, To Your Eternity, Fruit Baskets, the final season, Odd Taxi, and Wonder Egg Priority. To Your Eternity finally shows up on this list. Wasn't even up for best animation. Wasn't up for best fight scene. Wasn't up for best boy. Wasn't up for anime of the year. This was the big shock to me that To Your Eternity didn't get those nominations, because this is the thing that like seemed to be like this year. This was people's most anticipated show of the year. Like people were looking in 2020. People were looking forward to this, so it is really surprising. Fruit Basket's final season, the drama is high in this last season. Fantastic. Kageki Shoujo, I don't know. I don't know where I'd put this show, but I don't know if it's necessarily a drama. I mean, there's dramatic moments. Odd Taxi, good fit for Odd Taxi here. I'm going with To Your Eternity because I feel like this should have won some stuff, even if, as I said, because it has one, children in peril, and two, characters being introduced just so bad things can happen to them and you feel bad about that. You know, it's not for me and I'm never going to see it, but, you know, take that recommendation. Best romance, B-Stars, Don't Toil With Me, Miss Nagatoro, Comey Can't Communicate, Fruits Basket, the final season, Horimiya, and The Duke of Death and His Maid. I'll say this right now. There's a show that would be my vote, but didn't get nominated for this, which is The Saint's Magic Power is Omnipotent. The Saint's Magic Power is Omnipotent is a better romance show than most of these. Because Don't Toil With Miss Nagatoro, that's not a romance show. Comey Can't Communicate, not a romance show. Those are comedies that have... Comey has a character that might have a crush on someone. That's it. That's all it is. And then a couple people obsessed with her. It's not a romantic show. Don't Toil Me Nagatoro, like, yeah, they like each other, but it's not about them falling in love or anything. B-Stars definitely has some violence and all that, but is a story about love. Fruits Basket is a romance show, even though I think the drama and the sadness outweighs the romance. Horimiya, that's a romance show. That's some romance. This is about a couple, like two people finding each other and deciding they're going to date and be with one another, and then trying to figure out how life is going to work with that. And then Duke and Death is, I guess, is a romance show, I guess. But I would vote, if I could vote for anything in this, it would be clearly going for the The Saint's Magic Power is Omnipotent. It's a tough name. Also, a few minutes ago, somebody followed me here on Twitch, so thank you. It's Zomtastic for the follow. Don't have notifications on for this layout, so I didn't see that. So thank you. Let's see. I'm gonna go with Horimiya. Horimiya to me is the best romance show of these listed because it is a pure romance show. There's some drama, there's some sadness, there's some comedy, but it's about the fucking romance. So to me, that's an easy vote. Best fantasy, we've got Jobless Reincarnation, Core 1. Core 2 was out this year. Or last year? When did that come out? Is it out right now? I don't know. Whatever. That Time I Got Reincarnated is a Slime Season 2. To Your Eternity, Ranking of Kings, The Case Study of Vanitas, and Wonder Egg Priority. Case Study of Vanitas makes the list. I guess we're getting a second core of that, or a Season 2. I don't know. It was vampires. I didn't pay attention to it. So this should be Jobless Reincarnation's category to win, because it is a fantasy epic. It's beautiful to look at. That Time I Got Reincarnated is a Slime Season 2. I'd like to see it getting some nominations, because I think it was good and dark. Ranking of Kings, it's an epic series, so I guess But I'm going to go with To Your Eternity because I would like to see that get some wins because I know it means a lot to people. So I'm going to go with that. And then the last category, Best Film. We've got, which I'll say this right now, I have only watched three of. We've got Belle, I want to say it's called, Demon Slayer, the Mugen Train arc, the movie. This is the movie, not the version of it that is the animated with more stuff in it. That is the animated TV version. This is the movie. Shirobaka, the movie, I have not seen. I haven't seen Belle. Evangelion 3.0 plus 1.0 Thrice Upon Time, which I have now seen. Jesse, the Tiger and the Fish, and Words Bubble Up Like Soda Pop, which I've also seen. And okay, so I would like to see the other ones that I have not seen yet. Look, Evangelion, what the fuck am I supposed to say about that? I have always been an Evangelion hater. I have never been I would rather watch Dual than Evangelion back in the day. Dual was my Evangelion. I know that is a weird thing to say, but that is my weird mech anime where someone is trying to deal with religious themes. But it's just instead of Evangelion is the guy that made Tenchi Muyo making his version. That's why I think it's better. It closes a story. Will we see more Evangelion? Of fucking course we will. Words Bubble Up Like Soda Pop was cute, but I mean, look, here's the thing. The best-selling anime movie of all time is Demon Slayer. And it's really fucking good. It's beautiful. It's a great fucking movie. It's the best film. I feel like this category exists so they can give it to Demon Slayer. So they can give Demon Slayer an award. And though that's it. So as it says right there, on February 9th, which is a Wednesday, you will find out who wins. Will there be a video that we can watch to find that out? I don't know. I'll tell you this, people watching here on stream, and people that are watching this later on YouTube. If you would like to see where I voted, or no, if you'd like to see me talking about the results, February 9th is a Wednesday, so at 9 p.m. Eastern on that Wednesday, I will do a stream where I will talk about the results, go through the results, talk about like how I voted for the categories, and just kind of go through it. If it's a video, I'll just like freeze frame it, but there'll probably be a write-up as well. But I'm going to go through the results on that day because I think that would be fun to just kind of go through them. So that'll be February 9th, which will be the next live recording of Pat Baer's Anime Club, and that'll be a later episode. Again, keep your eyes out for my top 10 list, which comes out sometime before the 31st of January. When? I don't know, but it'll be the next Pat Baer's Anime Club will be my anime top 10 list, and it will, so check that out. And I'm going to wrap up the recording of this video right now just by saying thank you for watching this. Again, if you're watching this later on YouTube, in the comments below, let me know how you've been voting, if there's anything that stands out to you, if I got anything really wrong there. You're like, I can't believe you didn't think that Vivi was the best fight scene. Like, let me know, and thank you for watching.